JNN is brought to you by Ross Carroll Incorporated and Clark Philippi, DDS.
Today on JNN, we look into the rules on lunchtime food deliveries.
Then, Jared Perez opens the Winter Sports Box.
And finally, we kick off a new segment, Humans of Grigori High.
All this and more on today's JNN.
Good morning, Grigori High. I'm Kelly Kiernan.
And I'm Catherine Swartz. Today is Friday, December 2nd.
With only 2 weeks left before winter break, there's a lot to cover on campus.
So let's get started. This year, fast food deliveries are becoming common for some students at lunch. Christine Tu and Kelly Kiernan have found that many parents are bending the rules when it comes to drop-offs.
Rules. They create order. They're designed to make us safe. But let's be honest, not everyone follows them. Students sometimes break the rules, and you may not be surprised to learn that even parents sometimes fail to follow school guidelines. Here's a little-known rule that some parents are currently ignoring.
The kids are having a lot of parents bring food to them daily. We probably have a consistent of anywhere from 25 to 50 kids getting lunches dropped off a day.
My mom normally brings me fast foods like Subway or Panda Express 2 to 3 times a week, maybe at the most.
My mom brings it about 2 times a week.
Around once every 2 weeks. Sometimes I'm asked to bring it for some friends.
I mean, it just depends. There's times I've done it twice in a week. There's times I don't do it for 2 weeks.
Wow, that's a lot of parent deliveries. No wonder we have rules to manage this.
Parents, when they're bringing lunch to their students or students getting lunch delivered from a parent, we typically want them to bring it into the office and drop it off and have the student pick it up there for safety issues.
The safety issue is if somebody pulls up at the curve and the students go beyond the gate, we don't know who's actually dropping off the food, what they're actually dropping off.
Number one concern is for the student's safety. It's not like parents could be given detention or suspension for this. The school simply wants those parents who are so devoted to their kids that they regularly deliver fast food during lunch to show a little devotion to school rules as well.
Every school site does have different rules as far as what they're allowing and what they're not. Some sites is a zero tolerance. Some sites are a little bit more lenient, and that's up to the site administrators how they want to deal with that. It's all of our jobs to see who's coming and who's going. Camp supervisors are constantly patrolling inside the school, and then we have administrators on bicycles that are riding around at lunchtime, and they're helping out with the patrol of checking who's coming on campus.
I'm just grateful the school allows us to bring it in, and I'm glad that my granddaughter thinks enough of us to ask us to bring it.
And happy they should be. But in order to maintain this privilege, we need parents to follow school guidelines. Reporting for JNN, this has been Christine Tu and Kelly Kiernan.
Thanks, guys. So parents, yes, you can deliver food for your kid, but you've got to drop it off at the office. Got any plans tonight? Take a break from studying, or procrastinating from studying, and watch Elf in the NPR. It's only $5 and includes a bag of popcorn. On Monday and Tuesday of finals week, get back to the books at Cocoa and Cram. Get a warm cup of hot chocolate, and your teachers will be there to answer questions before exams. Save the date. Formal's just around the corner on January 14th. After today, ticket prices will go up from $30 to $35, so head over to the SBO soon. And we'd like to give a quick shout out to math teacher Lori Gaines for being named Grigori's CLHS Teacher of the Year. Congrats, Miss Gaines. And now, Jared Perez opens the JNN Winter Sports Box.
What's up, Jags? I'm Jared Perez coming to you from the JNN Winter Sports Box. This week's Sports Box might be shorter than you're used to, but that's because we're going to use a new format where we focus on one sport per show. And if your sport doesn't show up on this JNN, don't worry. It'll show up next time. We've got a brand new sports season for more reasons than one. More notably, we have new sports competing in the winter season. For this show, we are focusing on soccer. First up is girls soccer. They competed Tuesday against Central Catholic at home and lost the game 1-3. Here we have Jasmine Marquez Pulido kicking the ball for the goal. The boys played Atwater on Wednesday, but by the time of this recording, we did not have the score of that game. The boys soccer team has improved from last year's team as they have more depth on their roster. The girls play at Sierra today, and the Grigori boys varsity tournament begins today and ends tomorrow. Not only is soccer new to the winter season, but they'll be playing the majority of the games at Mary Grogan Park. I worked with Michaela Meyer to bring you this story.
With the winter sports season kicking off, Modesto City Schools is adding soccer to the mix. It will be joining basketball and wrestling as sports played during the winter months.
About 2 to 3 years ago, the CIF section, which is the governing body of all athletics in our area, put out kind of a questionnaire to all of the athletic directors, principals, and coaches and asked them about the possibility of moving both boys and girls soccer from fall and summer to both going to the wintertime. And that poll came back with like a 60-40 in favor of. Our district voted against it. However, there was more people that voted in favor of it. As a result, in the last year, they voted to move it to the winter.
One of the reasons why they wanted to do that was that they wanted to set up a system where teams from the north could compete with the south. In other parts of California, their seasons run in the wintertime, so they wanted to set up some type of system.
Personally, playing in the winter isn't my favorite because I feel more stiff with like the cold weather and I don't feel as loose, and also because of the rain, it's kind of harder to keep control out here with the ball and like passing wise.
The district has also made the decision to move all league play to Mary Grogan Park.
The fall program's just hammered the snot out of our athletic fields. So they're pretty torn up right now, and there's really not going to have any time to heal. So now we're jumping right into winter sports. Before, they had the entire winter to heal, but now they don't. So they're probably not in the best shape that they could be. And as a result, we just felt like it was, again, from a league's point of view, it was logistically viable to move everybody to Mary Grogan for league play only.
The decision to play at Mary Grogan Park this year was one that we kind of talked about last spring as a way to solve, in some cases, to solve the space problem for some of the schools. With girls playing on Mondays and Wednesdays, boys playing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Practice days on those days will be much more free for those teams at their school sites. And then, of course, because it is in the winter and it gets dark around about 5 o'clock, there is the use of lights over there, so we will not be quite so pressed for time.
While there are some benefits to moving to Mary Grogan, the distance may be a challenge for the Grigori teams.
You know, there are some drawbacks. We have to travel from one corner of Modesto to the other. I suspect we'll have instances where we have players who get delayed by traffic and things like that.
All things considered, the coaches and players agree that the changes will have an overall positive impact on the teams.
Playing at Mary Grogan is a lot easier because the field conditions are always good, so it's never any trouble of figuring out if your pass is going to stay on the ground.
On a rainy day, they don't have to cancel the game and then reschedule for another day. They can play it. You know, they're on that artificial turf.
At least as far as the quality of the fields go, it should be an upgrade over what we have.
Reporting for JNN, this has been Michaela Meyer and Jared Perez.
Well, that's it for the JNN Winter Sports Box. See you next time for the report on wrestling. I'm Jared Perez, and I'm out. Back to you, Kelly.
Thanks, Jared. If you're a junior planning on going to a four-year college, there will be an information night held on January 18th at 7 p.m. in the NPR. Get into the holiday spirit and support the Make-A-Wish Foundation by writing letters to Santa all next week during lunch. Speaking of the holidays, need some last-minute Christmas gifts? Grigori's Floral Department has bouquets for sale in room M103. That would be perfect for family and friends. This week, JNN is introducing a new segment to the show called Humans of Grigori High. In each segment, we will be featuring students that show diverse talents and interests of our student body. Today, Emma Jacobson highlights student musician Nolan Harris.
If music were to be taken away from me suddenly, I would probably get a little bit crazy. It'd just be like this twitch inside of me that just keeps on twitching, and there's no way to satisfy it. When you're playing a cover song, it's mostly fun, but when you're playing your own song, you understand it, and it's more than just playing guitar at that point, because the guitar strings are how you express yourself. So you turn into an artist painting and expressing themselves. It's kind of at the point where it's something that I have to do emotionally to pursue it and to learn about it. I've just been passionate in music, and I do credit myself with having some kind of a sense and rhythm and a level of creativity, and that's helped me out. But to say I'm musically gifted, I don't know. There's a lot for me to improve. I mean, the only genres I've really gotten to at this point are blues and reggae. I mean, jazz is a whole life's work, and that'll be a pain once I get to it, but I mean, I gotta do it.
To see more Humans of Grigori High stories, check out our YouTube channel, JagNewsNet.
And while you're at it, stay up to date on all things Grigori by following us on Instagram and Twitter at JagNewsNet.
Well, that's it for JNN this week. I'm Kelly Kiernan.
And I'm Catherine Swartz.
See you next time.